The city of Lexington has 320,000 people. 159,000 of those people do not identify as Christians. That means we could fill over 7 Rupp arenas and 2 Kroger fields with people who are far from Christ. This should stagger us and should also increase our missional urgency. Centerpoint was planted back in 2005 to make a gospel impact in the city of Lexington. We've seen God do some pretty amazing things through our mission to take everyone we meet one step closer to becoming a true disciple of Jesus Christ. Since that time, God has grown Centerpoint to where we are through a singular focus to fulfill the Great Commission by making disciples for the glory of God. One of the ways that we do this is by committing ourselves to an effective gathering home that will allow us to have wise but aggressive mission. We believe that being committed in a more permanent home will help Centerpoint fulfill its mission now, but also in the years to come. So what does all this mean? We are asking God to provide us a new meeting space for our church. This could mean purchasing an existing building and renovating, or maybe buying land and building later, perhaps somewhere in between. We recognize that it's hard to give to something unknown. It's difficult to give to something that you can't see and it's not tangible. What we do know, and it's not hard to see if you look around, is that God is blessing and growing our church rapidly. But even if we had land acquired, what's important to remember is that we are not investing in simple brick and mortar. We're investing in people, in changed lives, and in kingdom work. Around 70% of our people who call Centerpoint home started coming when we moved into this space. That means 70% of our church is benefiting from the investment of those who have gone before them. And this is a great reminder that while buildings are important, meeting spaces are important, people are ultimate. As interesting as statistics are, stories are even more important. We want you to hear firsthand how Centerpoint has impacted their spiritual journeys.
My name is Diana Foraker, and I have been coming to Centerpoint since the very beginning when we were meeting at the movie theater. God has moved in my life so much since I've been at Centerpoint. One thing was, I did not know as a disciple of Christ, so we were to disciple others. Centerpoint has taught me how to disciple others, how to study the Word and to apply it to my life. I have grown immensely in my desire to share the gospel and for the lost. And I have come to love missions and even was given encouragement and equipment to go on mission trips. Wow. Also, I am so excited about the future of Centerpoint because the Word of God is preached every Sunday. No matter who is preaching, the cross is the center point of the gospel and they do not water it down. This gives me hope not only for our church, but our community.
My name is Vince Gouge, and I've been attending Centerpoint since the fall of 2013, about 10 and a half years, when we were located at the North Locust Hill building a few streets down Richmond Road.
My name's Kaylee Gouge, and I've been coming since 2016 when we were still at North Locust Hill.
When I came to Centerpoint, I had only been living outside of my parents' home for about a month. I was a new student at UK, and I didn't really know what it looked like to live the Christian life on my own or to be raised up by my church. Seeing the growth that I've had through discipleship, as well as just sitting under the preaching of the Word, has continued to make me excited about missions, discipleship, and evangelism within our body.
I started coming to Centerpoint toward the end of college. I was at a great church before, and when Vince and I got engaged, I started coming to Centerpoint. And the thing that struck me walking into the North Locust Hill location, other than being next to Wild Birds Unlimited, which was quite memorable, was how welcome I felt. And so Centerpoint was the first place where I came to church and was truly my own adult, and needed to grow into a mature adult in my faith as well.
I think that Centerpoint, it's obviously a very young church overall. We have an amazing staff and leadership team that the Lord has given a lot of wisdom to. They're extremely humble, and I think that the leadership that they are displaying for us as a body and the path that they are blazing for the future makes me really excited.
Hi, my name is Michael Shee. This is my daughter, Emma. We've been coming to Centerpoint since 2021 here at the Old Todd's Road location. We started attending Centerpoint at the peak of COVID, and it was a very challenging time for just about everybody. But even despite all those challenges, the church family opened their arms to us and we felt welcome. It was an opportunity for me and my wife to bring our children to a place where we knew the gospel was going to be preached, that we were going to have opportunities to worship God together, and we were going to be able to grow as a family with other people. One of the most tangible ways we saw the Lord work in our life during that time was in the the life of my daughter, Emma. And Emma's going to tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so before we started coming to Centerpoint, I just went to church, did the churchy stuff, but I didn't have like a personal relationship with Jesus. But when we started coming, I was really welcomed in by the kids ministry and all the leaders and everybody, and they let me experience the gospel for myself. And so I accepted the gospel into my own life. A couple years ago on Easter, I got baptized by Graham, and that was just an outward expression of the inward change that I had accepted the gospel, and it was really cool to worship with other students, pray for each other, learn together. Centerpoint's really impacted my life.
As a father, this has been such a powerful time in my life to observe my daughter grow and for the Lord to work in her life. And I'm just excited to be a part of that, and that as a community we can support each other well and to grow together and to support each other, to love each other for the sake of the gospel, and to take everyone one step closer to becoming a true disciple of Jesus Christ.
We all have a part to play in investing in a gospel future for our church. So, what are we asking from you? Number one, pray. Pray for our church. Pray for God to prove Himself faithful. Pray that God would provide for us the right place and the right time. Number two, consider. Consider what you might give. You can visit cpclex.org/commit for some helpful tools on how you can also give to this mission, but also continue to faithfully give to our church. We do not want to sacrifice current ministry for future ministry. Number three, pray some more. Ask God to do exceedingly abundantly more than we could ever ask for or imagine. You want to know why? Because this is not hard for Him. And number four, commit. This is an exciting time, so get in here, lock arms, and let's work together to fulfill our mission, to make disciples, and to glorify God through it all. Centerpoint, thank you for being committed to our mission, to our city, and to our future.